Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. Thursday, 7:15 here in Ireland. Good to have you here. Melissa. Why is that? Why I found Melissa? I don't even know nobody with name Melissa. Samanta is with me today. So, thank you very much. And we will keep going in our discussion about this Spirit's book, Earthly Hopes and Consolations. And we will start from question 937. So we have a lot of people is joining us. Thank you very much. And Samantha, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. So we have here Rihanna ready with us. Thank you, Rihanna.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening to everyone.
Yeah, our people from Ireland, UK. Also, we have people here from Portugal and now America, USA. So very good to have you guys here with me and Samantha. Okay. Leah, Sweden. I hope everything's okay in Sweden. So, would you mind to do an initial prayer?
Sure. Okay, so let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath. Let's raise our thoughts to Jesus, to God, to our spiritual friends, to our guardian angels. Let's ask for their support and for their intuition tonight so we can talk about the right things, so we can learn about those things, so we can open our minds as well for all that we have to learn and all the information that we have to receive. Let's hope that this conversation tonight will be a conversation of open hearts, of let's say good and imperfect, but good spirits trying to get more information, to learn more so they can improve themselves, so they can grow here on earth as a human being, but also as a spirit, an immortal spirit. So let's also thank for the opportunity to be here, to have so many good friends around, to have this community where we can support each other and also learn from each other. So be it.
Great. Thank you very much. Let me just reduce my... So, we are talking about hopes and consolations, earthly hopes and consolations. And last time we talked about the expectations and everything we have. And we still keep going talking about now disappointments we may have in life. And Kardec asked the following question to the spirits. Aren't the disappointments caused by ingratitude and by the fragility of the ties of friendships also a source of bitterness for the human hearts? So, first of all, we need to understand something here. When I say I am disappointed with Samanta, and I put all my frustration on her attitude, her behavior. But the point is, she frustrated my hopes. So it's me who are disappointed, not I am disappointed with her. So I am the one. I'll give an example. If a child kick you in your leg, kick your leg, and this child is like 6 years old. No, not 6, 2 years old. You don't know nothing. You will say, okay, well, that's it. But if I kick your leg, you're gonna be mad with me, and perhaps we start to arguing or something like that. So the question is, if I am get mad with the 2 years old child, it's kind of like me, 40s. I'm 44 years old, a 40 or 44 years old man trying to argue with a 2 years old child. This is not going to work. Definitely is not going to work. But I put, and then I don't feel myself disappointed. I don't feel myself hurt. But when I give something, a job, I give a task to Samanta, and I hope she achieved this. I set the milestones and everything, and I do not give a feedback to her, and I am supposing she will reach that point, and she, for some reason, because of lack of my guidance, she couldn't reach the point I was expecting. And then I say, I am disappointed with Samanta. Who is the problem here? Her or I? Which kind of support I gave? Which kind of help I give? Who sets the goals without telling her if the goals I set is reachable, if she has any question, if she's okay with that, if she needs any kind of support, if she's struggling with something? But no, I just set the goals and expect on the great day I will receive what I asked for. So it's me the problem. I am the problem because I said all this, but I didn't communicate. I didn't say anything. And one more thing. If we kind of be disappointed with the person who offended us, we needed to get to that level of that person. Another example here. I'm driving And out of blue, someone shout at me bad words. It's up to me if I will reply, if I will stay quiet, or if I just smile and say, see you. It's me. If I reply back, it means I am offended with the action of that person. That action really hurts me. And then I need to investigate why. Did I did something wrong here on the road? I didn't drive well. I need to investigate what's the problem. If I stay quiet, it means that I'm not reaching that same vibration. I'm not tuning with that kind of a vibration. If I reply with a smile, or even though with I'm sorry, you receive a kind of stone and you reply with love. But what we are saying here is, if you feel disappointed, if you feel ungratefulness, if you have your broken affections, it's you. Everything started with you. Another good example here. You start a relationship, and as anybody else, nobody's perfect. But for some reason, you set goals, you set expectations. That's the word. You set expectations in your partner behavior, and you put yourself in an illusion, and you start to see someone who does not exist. And at the end, the relationship will be damaged. You can broke up with your partner, and you can say, oh, he or she hurt me. But the point is, did you analyze that person? At the beginning, you saw that person does not fit your requirements, but you insisted in that relationship. And at the end, you end up disappointed. All these relationships, like when I love someone, you love someone and you get the person in a prison. This is not love. When you love someone, you want that person be happy with or without you. Did you stop a while to think about it? I love desperately, I love so much that person. In a certain point, that I want she or him be happy with or without me. Think about it. Let's see what Samanta has to contribute for us here, and we can start over.
Yeah. Well, I think when I was reading the questions before our talk and trying to prepare for the talk, I thought, I don't know exactly what I'm going to say during the talk, because those are things that I struggle myself, and it was actually very good that I learned a little bit about it today. I hope I did anyway. But because I myself, I struggle with those things. I have my own questions about those things. So it did really help me to understand a few things. And I love the example that you gave about the 44-year-old man and the whatever year boy. So let's say 11 years old boy. If they do something to you, you don't get really affected, because you know they're a child, and they're doing that because you know that they don't know better. And I think that what happens most of the times is that we are all 11-year-old people struggling with each other. So this shows basically that most of us are at the same, if we can, not the same level, but in a very similar level, because otherwise we wouldn't be here. But we all have our problems. We all have our imperfections and things that we need to change and improve, basically. Not exactly change, because change doesn't mean necessarily improvement. But we know that we need to improve. We also know that we are imperfect spirits, that we have, that we do things that we sometimes we understand that we shouldn't have done. And a lot of times we don't even understand that we were wrong. So in general, it is complicated. It's relationship. And the thing is, when I was reading those questions and the answer from the spirits, it's meant to be like that. It is meant to be like that. So when we think about Jesus and what happened when he was in the cross, you know, he was judged, and he was put in that position by the same people that once honored him, right? And when this happened and he was in the cross, he looked at those people and he thought, the only thing that he said was, God, forgive these people because they don't know what they're doing. So it's exactly the example that you gave, a 44-year-old man and an 11-year-old boy. He was there, you know, he was in that position where he could see, he wasn't hurt. He didn't feel offended at all. He wasn't offended. He understood the situation. He understood that these people, they were, what's the word in the Spirit's book? Ungrateful.
Disappointed. Ungratefulness.
Ungrateful, yeah. So they were ungrateful, and they caused a lot of hurt to him, but he wasn't offended because he understood that the problem wasn't him. It was those people that didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know the severity. They didn't understand things. They weren't at the same level of evolution. And for all of us, usually we are not at this level. We are not Jesus. So that's why we are in this struggle most of the times. And in terms of having expectations, and when you do good things to people and they are ungrateful, you feel hurt. But if you could try and see the situation from a different perspective, and of course the hurt will be felt because we are humans, and we are not going to become Jesus tomorrow. We are not going to become Jesus from one day to another. And the hurt is necessary for that improvement, for that, and all hurt, or in every situation that we are challenged with, every ungrateful friend or family member, or any beloved one, this is an opportunity for you to learn. As the Spirit says in the answer, it's an opportunity for you to learn a little bit more, to improve yourself a little bit more, and to put in practice those things that you learn, because you need to try and see the situation from a different perspective and be more lovingly with these people. When you know that what you did was right, but you also need to think, what I did was right. So that is a good reflection that you need to do as well. So always try and reflect on what happened and see if you're right or if you're wrong, and if there's something you can do to make it better. But if there is not, and a lot of times there's not, some people don't really appreciate things that you do. So if that's the case, then don't put it in yourself. Don't, or try not to, because it's impossible not to feel hurt. It's impossible not to feel things, because we are human beings. So if I pinch my arm, it is going to hurt, right? But if you try to do this movement where you see the situation for what it is, then what the Spirit says to us is, it's on them to solve the problem. It's on them to understand what they did, and to even sometimes suffer the consequences of what they did. So try and separate those things, because those are important distinctions. And it will help you deal with the situation in a much better way, because then you won't feel that much hurt. Maybe you're not going to linger in the hurt, if that's a phrase. So, and that's one thing, and that is really beneficial to you. And also, you're not carrying any more heaviness for this situation. You're also setting up the field in a way that the other person maybe could see things in a different way.
So there is a comment before I say, very good comments here from Gabriele. Being able to observe ourselves and identify the things that we keep doing, or even the things that trigger some behaviors on us, it's fundamental. It's easy. It's fundamental. Isn't easy, but we should all be taking a good look at ourselves. It took me years to learn that a very close member of my family have some issues that used to really disappointing me and cause me anger and frustration. And I now can see that regardless of his family bond to me, he's an individual with his own flaws and journey, same way as I do. Gabriel, a good point here, Rich. Perhaps that's exactly what we want to achieve today. When you said here, a very close member of my family have some issues that used to really disappoint me and cause me anger and frustration. That's what we want to explain here. Because who sets these expectations? Who creates these expectations? Let's take a real example here. Like, say, Jesus. He chose 12 apostles. Okay? And among of these apostles, nobody was perfect. He had to work everyone, even though, like Peter, denied him at least 3 times. Jude, I don't know the name in English from Jude. The other apostle betrayed him. The other spent many years with him, but at the moment he needed to believe that he was in front of him, he said, in order to believe, I need to see the marks in your hands, and I need to touch it. It's not even see, he need to touch it. And what Jesus said, like Samanta said to us, be the peace be with you. May the peace be with you. He was not offended. Now imagine us. Let's say I am here. I have something and someone suddenly denied me 3 times. I'm gonna kill that person. The first thing I say, hey, what's going on here? You know, if you betrayed me, hey, what's going on? You know, let's I don't know if you have this expression. Let's wash our clothes here and our dirt clothes here and see what's going on. But what Jesus said, nothing. May the peace be with you. He was offended. Like how much he suffered carrying the cross, then the nails to put it in the cross, all these things. I bet, I don't know, I'm not saying you are better than me or I'm better than you, but for much, much less, I would say something, hey, let's stop here. I am the king, or I do this, or I was with those guys as well. I would say something in order to avoid that suffering. Well, for some reason, I will do something in order to stop that all bad situation. I will do it, you know.
I can only imagine Jesus saying, oh, I wasn't alone. Those guys were with me.
Exactly. Hey, I didn't start this by myself. I have this guy with me, you know. And but this is us. But why? Because we feel offended. And Jesus wasn't feeling that thing. You see how the example, like the 44 years old being kicked in the legs by a 2-year-old boy. Even hurt. No, sometimes the kick is no. Even hurt you. Oh, come on. Oh, it's a poor boy. Okay, go. You don't feel offended. You don't go to his or her level in order to say, hey, what's going on here? So, let's see here. Don saying here, hey, Don, Chicago. The hard part is owning our own issues in a relationship with others. Exactly. Why? Because we put too much expectations in someone else, and we don't share these expectations. We don't have a free talking in order to say, okay, I'm with you, but I hope you reach that level, and that person freely say, hey, I never reached that. I love you, but I'm sorry, I will not read that. Or, oh no, great, well, okay, let's work together. You help me, I help you, and we're gonna do this together, and then both start to have a nice and and fruitful relationship because everyone working on the other weaknesses. But when I start something and I want that person reach that level and I do not share, it is with me. It's like you being fired because you didn't achieve the company goals, but nobody gave you the goals when you were hired. Gabrielle is saying here, you're totally right. We only feel frustrated and angry because we set the expectation on how that person should be. I'm glad I involved myself enough to understand one is perfect and everyone is facing their own issues. Yeah, so it is, what the expectations we are setting, what the goals we are setting here. Like a mom always will have faith, and mom knows the son or the daughter very well. They know she knows the limitations, she knows the frustrations, she knows everything. But she don't give up on us. She has faith, which is different. I have faith. I believe one day my daughter, my son, will overcome this issue. We will overcome this barrier. And if we do not overcome that barrier, what's she gonna do? She'll involve us in her arms. She'll encourage us to shake the dust and get up and try again. And what we do, usually, if someone fails, we don't care about that person anymore. I'm saying we, but I'm not generalizing here. I know there is many exceptions, but that's the point. That's the point we want to reach today. Because how you're setting your goals. Are you pushing yourself too hard? Are you being honest with you? Because you can set goals like easygoing goals because you know you can do it. Set a goal is put something achievable and in which you have skills to achieve that. It's like someone, I don't know, Stevan, you need to build a website. I have no clue how to do it. For sure, I will not achieve that. But if I'm working something else, I have a knowledge about it. Someone set a goal in which I need to make my research, I need to work on it, I needed to do my assignments, I needed to investigate, I needed to dig in, but you get it. It's totally different. I don't know if you agree, sir.
Yeah, no, I do. I agree with you. I was just thinking about, because the part that struck me the most when I was learning, studying for the talk, was the expectation part, right? Because we were talking about, we create expectations and we put on other people our expectations, so they should fulfill our expectations. And that is a very hard thing, because like everyone has a different expectation of other people. So say, for instance, if I care too much about what other people think, I'll be crazy, because they will think so many different things. I can't be all of those things, So it's even impossible or close to impossible. So it's not fair to put our expectations on other people. But at the same time, we have our desires, we have our views for life, we have our preferences. And when it comes to family, it is really funny, because those family bonds, they glue us together regardless of all those things. For the majority of people, unfortunately not for everyone, but you need to, and you exercise that, and that's why family is so important. You exercise that much more. Your father is not perfect, but you respect them anyway. Your mother is not perfect, but you respect them anyway, and you appreciate all the things that they did for you. And that's the same in terms of what they feel about you. So they also have, they brought you up, they paid for all the expenses, because it's a very expensive business raising a child, and they gave up their time and a lot of energy and love to you. And of course they set some expectations. So I, for one, know that my family would prefer if I were there with them. I live in Dublin, and my family is in Brazil, right? And I know for a fact that they wanted me to be there, and I used to feel pressured by that, and now I feel happy. I feel happy that they have this feeling, because when I'm there, we fight sometimes, and we have to kind of learn again how to live together and how to do things together, and this exercise is so fun. And then we have some troubles, but at the end, when I have to come back here, they ask me to stay because they love me regardless. And that is so wonderful when we get to that type of love and relationship. People are not perfect. We are not perfect at all. But when it comes to romantic relationships, I think it's a little bit more complicated, because we want our life to be in a certain way, and we have aspirations. It's not only expectations. We have our aspirations and we have our preferences. And sometimes the partner will not fulfill those things. So, and I actually like a lot what you said about being honest and being open. And you need to be honest and open from the start when you are in a relationship, from the very get-go, because that's how you avoid being hurt in the future. If you show your own self since the beginning, of course, there's this, at the beginning you want to, there are some things that you want to do, to kind of, I forgot
Make things easy, like you want to that you are involved by passion. You do believe in the people, the person, but
yeah, the word is, let me just see. You want to attract, right? So you want to be attractive. So you want to attract this person, and you do nice things, and that's okay. That's good. The thing is, you need to keep doing that, because you need to keep attracting this person for your whole life, because they have the choice of not being with you if they don't want you, and that is a difficult thing. So if you have an honest and open relationship, even though When you have an honest and open relationship, things can get really difficult. Because sometimes, as we were talking about, people being what they are able to be, people being or giving what they can give, sometimes they can't give more and you want more, or you are willing to do more for the relationship to go further, but that person for some reason can't or won't, and you need to respect that. So even when you have this open relationship and you can talk about all the things, it's still hard, and you sometimes face the decision of, do I want to be in this relationship any longer? Because we are going to get frustrated at each other, and that frustration can grow to something else, right? And loving someone and accepting the person the way they are and accepting their choices is that as well, is letting them free and is letting them go if they have to. Because someone is not in your life doesn't mean that you don't love them. Yeah. And as I said about the expectations, I have some expectations, and I understand, and like even understanding that people can only give you what they have to give. They can't give more than that, and they won't give you things that you want them to give you just because you want them to give you. It's not natural that way. You know, it's forced, and people need to give you from the heart. So if you are in a relationship where those things match, and you can enjoy what the person has to give you, and vice versa, and you both grow together, then perfect. What are the odds of that? I don't know. I think sometimes you have to deal with some frustration, and that's okay too. Okay too.
We have to have frustration, you know.
And that is the game, you know. And it's one of the things that I was thinking, like, to avoid all of that. I think I could even not put myself in this position, you know. Maybe it's a solution. I could not put myself in this position, and that's fine. It is fine. But at the same time, you're losing so much, because you're losing the opportunity to grow. You're gonna feel hurt. You're gonna feel disappointed, you know. But you're also going to feel a lot of joy, and so many happy moments. And if you decide that you don't want to play that game anymore, then fine. But you're going to be stagnated.
Mm-hmm.
Because relationships, it's just the foundation of God's law. It's where things happen. It's how you grow. There's no way out. So that's what I think. I don't know if it make any sense.
Yeah, well, this come across like Rob is saying here. Expectations are a slippery slope. I've learned not to impose them onto others. That is a form of charity to others. Bravo. Because you're saving like your time, and you're saving that personal time. You know? Gabriel also saying here, I think the harder part for me was that this was my father's issues. And we are grown up thinking our dad should be strong and take care of us. And when I found myself being the one of taking care of him while the struggles through addiction, it caused me sadness. But now I do understand that he is struggling, and all I can do is be there for him and trying to help him the best I can. Bravo as well, my dear. I'm glad you understand this position. We need to then we're saying, let's paraphrase here, Robbie. Expectations are a slippery slope. Like we didn't born with a manual to be how to be son, a manual how to be a daughter, how to be dad, how to be mom, how to be a friend. We don't have this manual. Unfortunately, we don't have it, but we do have chances to do our things. Sometimes we're gonna do right, sometimes we're gonna do wrong in all situations. In all situations. Like, you don't understand some attitudes of your mom or your dad when you were especially teenagers time, let's say between 13 17 ish. That's the most rebel time. We don't understand some situations of our parents, but when we become a parent, things start to make sense. Things start to say, and what are you gonna give to them? What you receive it? Mostly, you look some kind of not mirror, a model. And the model you have when you are a parent is your parents. Okay? So that's the model you have. And sometimes things evolving, we don't know how to act. And we do our efforts in order to make the best things to our daughter or our son, but these things doesn't work, because when you were educated, it's a kind of society. Like most of us who are around 40s or older, we played without internet. TV, at least my house, it was one, and it was for my mom. Watch the soap operas. Nobody could touch in the TV, but I have to play with myself. But now my youngest daughter, he knows how to deal with this better than me, and she is 4 years old. Sometimes I go to her, hey, I need to do this. Oh, that is like this, and she does, this. So how can I educate my daughters the same way I was educated? Some parents can handle it, some parents can't. And they put these kind of expectations on them. They set their own goals. I failed as a mom, I failed as a dad, I failed as a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. And we starting to fall in this slope here. We fall in this trap because you didn't reach the expectations you set to yourself. And then we have anxiety, depression, high cholesterol, diabetes, a lot of things. Cancer, But the question here is, were you honest with you when you set your goals? And remember, everybody who is a leader in these companies goals time by time needs to be adjusted. Did you adjust your goals? Did you adjust your expectations? Let's see my dear friend here. Chicago, but he's in Texas, having some sunny, getting his vitamin D. Maybe we will educate her different. The spirits incarnating now are different than we were, for sure. They are more prepared for this world. Yes, it is done. It is. But what I'm saying here is, if I want to apply the same education I had from my parents, I'll be in trouble with my daughters. I will be the worst daddy. Because I say, oh, no TV, no mobile phone. You have to read, you have to study. No. We need to adapt ourselves. That's what I'm saying. Are you adjusting your expectations? Are you being honest with yourself and with the person you are dealing with? Like Samanta, she has a very good background in companies, especially in HR. You need to, the rules must be clear on the first day. When the rules are not clear on the first day, that is a high chance to end up very bad. So, talk to yourself. Set your goals. Avoid this kind of disappointments, because all these disappointments will make you feel sick. I'm not saying that this is the cause of the cancer, but this is one of the causes. One of the causes of cancer is all these bitterness, frustrations, goals you didn't reach. You stay with you, inside of you, hurting you. And this may give you a cancer. And it's completely avoidable. But no, I want this, I want that. At any cost, I want this. Okay, at any cost, deal with the consequences. Law of cause and effect, it's applied to everyone in every kind of situation. So think about this. Think about how your parents are treating you, how your parents were treated by their parents. Adapt this to the current situation, and maybe we will have less frustrations than someone who set this very high and tried to reach that at any cost. And also, I forgot to say something is very important here is, And when you do something to someone, and let's say I'm doing I'm always helping Samanta, I'm always helping her, stay with her, supporting her. Let's suppose I need her, and she say, "Oh, I'm busy, I cannot talk to you right now." And I will say, "Well, I always give my time to her, and when I need her time to me, she's busy." And the Spirit said here, still on the question 937, "Let the good you have done be your reward in this world, and do not worry about what those who have benefited from it say." What they want to say here is, when you do something, you did. That's it. If she can help me, happy days. If she can't help me, happy days as well. Again, what's the intention for your for the things you did good? Because when you need someone come to help you, if this is the reason, I'm saying, hey, it's better you, when we finish here, review your expectations and rearrange these goals, because that's not going to happen. I don't know if it was here. It is one of the let me see. Yeah. So, okay, we have 2 minutes. I will find it here. That is a very good psychograph from Emmanuel. Spirits. If you want to say something, you can say, because I will look this here. You're in mute. You're in mute, my dear.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking while we were talking, the good chain. So sometimes you do good to somebody, and when you need something, not necessarily what you need will come from this person that you did good to, or So if you trust God, even if this person can't help you when you need, trust God, because help will come. A lot of times from other people, and that's the whole idea of the chain of good. You do good to one person, and that person do good to another person, and that's kind of how it works. You don't necessarily, or even when somebody does something good to you, don't think that you need to retribute. Not necessarily, no. Well, you need to be a good person. If that other person is in need, please help. But it's not an obligation in as such. You should take every opportunity to help, and trust God that when you are in need, help will come. From one way or the other, help will come.
Yeah. And just to finish here, guys, I will read a psychograph from the spirit brother José, is a spirit, and a psychograph by Chico Xavier and Carlos Bacelli. And the book name is Faith. Okay? And he says here, sometimes we question ourselves. Will it be worth to be good in the pathways of life? And in a flash, we would invent ingratitude, disappointments, slanders. The one you extended your hand yesterday is the same one who defamed you today. The one you killed his hunger in the past is the same one to scoff at your ideals now. The one you helped in the problematic of his experiences is the voice that rises to censor you publicly. The one you trusted blindly is the same one who in deceiving you set you up for a delicate situation. However, it continues, obey the voice of your conscience. All who are willing to serve in the world will inevitably reap troubles. Hasn't it been like this with the benevolent ones of all time? Don't give up. Indeed, when you do good to others, you will be doing it to yourself. I repeat again. When you do good to others, you will be doing it to yourself. By the thorns, be sure to invest in your happiness. Justice belongs to God. Time will speak for you. And that's it. At the end, so we stay just on the question 137 today. I thought we were going to progress a little bit more. But it's good when you guys interact with us. So many good examples, so many good comments here. Thank you very much, Daniele, Don, Robbie, Leah, Rihanna. Thank you very much for your comments here. So I will do the final prayer. But before that, I will say this Sunday, 11:15 p.m. Irish time, we do have Wanderley's talk. Okay, we don't know the topic yet, but for sure he will post later. And also we do have Divaldo's talk on the 8th of May will be in Portuguese, but on the 11th of May, Buzz will play again the same, but with the subtitles in English. Okay? So, I want to say thank you, everyone, for the lessons I have learned today. I learned a lot. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kindness towards ourselves, towards the show, towards Kardec Radio. I want to say thank you, Kardec Radio, for this opportunity to be here. All the spirits who are in charge of it, thank you for trust, the help. Thank you, Samanta, for your time, for your friendship, for your support. May these good vibrations reach out to all the brothers and sisters who are facing a difficult time. Maybe they are sick, maybe they don't know how to act, maybe they are lost, suffering from anxiety, depression, thinking about suicide. May these good vibrations reach them, give some comfort. And for a moment, they will reach their unconscious and take their right direction in order to recover and keep going in life, with the life. So be it. Amen. Okay, so thank you, Sa. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay well.
Thanks, guys. I just want to say very quickly, Don said that the talk was very meaningful to him. And I just want to say that it was very meaningful to me too. So
it's to me as well, you know.
Yeah, so it is an exchange, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, thank you. So, Don, enjoy Texas. Okay? Don't eat too much barbecue. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.